everybody. Welcome to another episode of Alto Call. And in another off season episode, I thought it would be fun to have an episode that is quite a departure from maths. This week, I will be counting down, or rather ranking the episodes of the latest season of Black Mirror, which is season 7. And, I have a guest to help me out with this today just to see if we align and where we stand and just to compare notes with somebody else who watched the show. And my guest today is Nana. Hi, Nana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me back.
Anytime, anytime. You're a friend of the pod. You are welcome anytime. Yeah. Do you want to share what your reaction was when I when I was like,
Wow. I didn't know I was going to
this
be called out like this. Guys, Tane loves to bully me. That's legit the only thing that she provides for my life is bullying, okay?
one.
Because I was minding my business, complaining about how annoyed I was with work. And she's like, wow, just to add to it, do you want to watch the newest season of Black Mirror? And I'm like, no, I had no intention to watch it. Because I haven't watched like the last two seasons because I don't know, I just thought it'd become too Americanized, too sanitized. I just wasn't in the mood. And then I
Yeah.
was like, you know what, screw it. Why not? Let's do it. So I kind of binge watched it over 2 days. And here I am, ready to talk
Yeah.
about it.
Uh-huh. Don't let anyone tell you that bullying doesn't work because it works for
Oh.
me, so why not? But okay, just kidding, guys. Bullying's bad. Tell your kids, tell everyone around you. Okay, but before we get into that, I do feel like I haven't given like a maths updates in like a while, so I figured that I will give this update. Go figure. It is with when Nana is here, who does not watch maths, but I will be sharing with you guys some updates with the past participants. Let's start with Neil. Neil from the original, I think, Atlanta season. He just got married, just posted out on there. So congratulations to him. Justin from the San Diego season is taking life by the horns and decided that he's going to start modeling. He posted some pictures on his Instagram and even put out some agencies that he's interested in. And he's ready to do that. I think the last time I gave you guys an update about him, he had moved to Alabama to be closer to his family. So I think he's still there. I don't know. I don't know if he's moved back to California, but that was just what I saw was that he's ready to step into modeling. Camille of Camille and Thomas of the most recent season posted what looked like a game night. The guys were playing dice. Brandon was there. MM was there. I mean, MM wasn't smiling, but I also didn't think that she knew that maybe Camille was filming. She was just opening a drink. It was just casual, and everyone was there. Thomas was there, and Carla was there at that game nights. They really do like their game nights. I think I want to share that Michelle of the recent season 2, for me, has been more likable just going through her social media. A lot of what she does is just her workouts and her fits, which, I mean, she dresses really nice. And, as we saw in the reunion, she looks really good. And I wanted to add that I don't think I've spoken on this since they did their interview rounds. She had mentioned that she and David were the first people to get married. And right after David's word vomit and saying all the things, he lives with his parents, his job and all that, they stuck her in a hotel room and then they had to wait for like a week. So I can imagine what the reaction is, just how you would react to that news. And then you have to sit there digesting all that information. And Nana, I know you don't watch. So I'm just giving you like a quick summary of what it was that this woman asked, to marry someone. She said she preferred to have a light-skinned black man.
Oh,
They
wow.
did give her that kind of. And the minute they got married, they sat down to chat and he just word vomited that he still lives with his parents. He has two jobs. He works the first shift and he smokes, and that it was just a lot. And she's very like type A, and that just she cried at the reception like, oh my god, I don't think this is it. And to find out that they stuck her in a hotel room for a week with that information, that's nasty work.
Whoa. Whoa. Well, if she made her priority a light skinned black man, that's what they gave her, right?
I feel like I'm missing something because I think that was explained. I don't know if that was. I kept saying, was that editing? Was that not? I don't know, but I don't know what that was about. But that happened, and I just want to add as a side note, guys. I tried really hard to get an interview with someone, but the powers that be, it didn't work out. So pray for me. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, but I did try hard. It would have been very interesting to speak to some of these participants and see what they were thinking about. Jasmine from the Nashville season has launched a podcast with her friends. So there's another podcast you can check out if you are interested. Our dear friend Jamie Otis has been on a social media break, but she did pop up and say that she might have a big life update to share with us, but she and Doug are still thinking about it and they're not sure. But when she has enjoyed her social media break so much that she's going to add a few more weeks, but if they do make that life change, she will share with us specifically on the 5th of May. Katie from the DC season is pregnant with her second child. Congratulations to her. And finally, Sonia from the Miami season, who I believe mentioned a bit that she got laid off with all the layoffs that are going on right now. And she got baptized on Easter Sunday. So that's all the updates that I have. I just felt like I had some making up to do because it's been a minute since I provided that in the episode. Okay. And we're back to regularly scheduled programming talking about Black Mirror. So, Nana, you've shared that you haven't watched because you thought it became Americanized. I don't think I disagree. Um, the history of Black Mirror, for people who haven't watched, is it was originally from the UK. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nana, the first few episodes, it was just like 3 episodes per
Yeah,
season.
yeah,
Yeah.
typical UK
It
stuff.
wasn't it yeah, I mean, you guys have to pay like what is it? TV fees or something?
TV only for BBC shows.
um so yeah, so they had that just a few season and the whole premise of Black Mirror is like it's futuristic. How would you describe it? Sci-fi. It's
Basically
not
about, I would actually say it's more about technology and how it affects society. But yes, it's
okay.
definitely sci-fi and futuristic, all that too. But I would
Yeah,
say technology is like the running theme for me.
for them. It's like a to me, a horror movie where technology is the theme and is creating
Hmm.
dystopias that seem to be becoming truer and more realistic as time
Hmm.
goes on. And that's basically what it is. The good thing about it is that it's an anthology television series in that you don't have to watch it in order because I see that a lot. Oh, should I not start with it? Should I like just
Watch
watch as
whatever
you please?
episode you want.
It doesn't matter. There
Yeah.
are one or two episodes that are kind of connected, but honestly, even if you didn't watch it, you'll be okay.
Hmm.
You'll be fine with that. So it's a pretty cool series. And then Netflix took it over at a certain, I can't remember what season, three, four,
Yeah.
I believe.
Oh, yeah, I think it was season 4.
Yeah, for four, season four. And then there was kind of like a, downturn on there. Not to say they still didn't give us some good episodes because that's where we had Nosedive,
Yes.
which was a good episode, and we had White Christmas, which I really enjoyed. I will say this: I think this might be an unpopular opinion. I am not like the hugest fan of San Junipero, which everyone absolutely loves.
It's been
It's
so
not a
long. Is that the one with Gugu and Batharo?
yeah,
Yeah, it's been so
yeah,
long. I don't remember much about it. Do you know? I do remember thinking it was overhyped at the time because that's
yeah,
all people would go on about, and I was like, it was fine.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think my favorite ever, ever, ever is from season one. Is it The Idea of You?
give me. I'm gonna. You're gonna have to give me vague plot points, other because I can't
It it
remember necessarily
it
by the
is the
title.
one where I think his girlfriend cheated on him
Yes, yes, yes,
and
yes,
he had to he could do his memories and
yes,
the entire history of you. I'm so sorry. That
yes.
is
No, I
what it was
remember that
called.
episode. It's a really good episode. Oh, now you're
Yeah,
making me want to rewatch it.
I
That is
thought
a
about
really good
that.
episode. I just
Yeah.
remembered. Then there's the one with the teddy bear, right? Where they put someone's like soul into a teddy bear. Was that the same season?
No, that was season 2. That was
Okay.
White Bear, I
Oh, okay.
believe.
Cool.
That what it was. So, I mean, Daniel Kaluuya, that was my first. No, my first
Yes.
introduction to him was Skins, maybe.
Yeah,
So
probably
it was
skin.
maybe he was in 15 million merits in season 1, which I also didn't really enjoy. But yeah, my favorite episode of Black Mirror in the entire history is the entire history of you. I really enjoyed that one.
I'm
But
definitely gonna rewatch that. As a side note, you know how they always say like, "Who's Black Mirror coming true?" I always think of the Bryce Dallas Howard episode
yeah,
because that is the one I feel like has come true. So dystopian, scary.
that's the nosedive that we talked about.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
I'm so bad with titles. Oh, but yes, okay, yes, that I like that one too.
Wait, am I right? Yes, I'm right. Okay, so I wasn't sure about it too. I questioned myself. I was like, wait,
Even
that's the
for
one.
this season, I had to write down the titles because I'm like, I'm not gonna remember. I'm gonna be like, is this person's episode and that person's episode? Yeah.
I know. That's how I am with like the math season. So I'm like, oh, season 10. I'm like, what city? I can tell you the
Yes.
city, but I'm not gonna know what season it is. But anyways, we are here and we've made it to season 7. And how did you feel about this season?
I wouldn't say it's like my favorite ever Black Mirror sorry, season. And I do think some episodes were stronger than others, but yeah, it wasn't a hardship to watch at all. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It wasn't like the season that had maybe the Miley Cyrus and the Netflix with Salma Hayek and all that. That was not a good season for me. I was just like, we're trying too hard now. Like it's not just enjoyable, but for this season as a whole, I did enjoy it. If someone asked me about the season, I'll be like, oh, that was a good season. Although as I went back to look at it episode by episode, I think I only like 3 episodes of the 6. So I'm like, is 50%? Is that a pass? I don't know. But overall, cohesively, I think I would say it was a decent season. So we could jump into the countdown, and since you're the guest, you can take first dibs. And what was your number 6
My
episode?
my number 6 was Plaything,
Okay.
which is the one with why do I always forget
Peter
Peter
Capaldi.
Capaldi? Thank
Hmm.
you. I
Doctor Who.
was like the Doctor. I've never watched Doctor Who, but anyway, that's another aside. Oh no, that's a lie. I've watched like 4 episodes. But anyway, yeah, Peter Capaldi's episode. I think that was my least favorite.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you why?
Yes, please.
I just felt okay, and it is very typical Black Mirror, especially with the technology, but and I know a lot of Black Mirror episodes don't have satisfying endings. That's kind of what they're known for. But this one, I was just left like, okay, what was the point of that? That's all I felt. It didn't
Yeah.
inspire me to think harder about anything. I just felt like they wasted 45 minutes of my time.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. My number 6 was Plaything as well. I went back and forth with another, but I ended up with Plaything because I felt like I wasted my time. Like we
Yep.
went on and on and on, and I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a payoff,
Hmm.
especially with building how he was younger, and it did not lead to anything. And I'm just like, what am I watching? And maybe I'm too dumb to understand what he was trying to say with the QR code and all.
Yeah.
It just didn't lead to anything. But Peter Capaldi was fantastic.
Yes, he was. That's never been a problem.
Fantastic. Yeah,
I thought
in
the
that.
police officer guy was doing way too much. Clearly, he's like, this my time to shine. I think I've seen him in a UK soap called The Bill. And I'm like, okay, guy, calm down. He was just, yeah. And I think he looked even worse because of how good Peter Capaldi was. So that was my
Yeah,
another criticism.
yeah. So yeah, okay. So we are on the same page in that.
I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like
we
I'm
already
on
my,
the
my
edge of
turn.
my seat, by the way, because I have no idea what your ranking is either. So I'm like, ooh, what's it going to be?
Okay, so what is your number 5?
Oh, I feel like this may be a controversial take. Don't take away my black card, but sorry, Issa, it has to be Hotel Reverie.
Okay,
Yeah, I
go
just
ahead with it. That has been a huge topic of discussion
okay.
on
So,
there.
I was telling Tane before, guys, that I've accidentally found myself on Threads because I quit Twitter, and it's a whole different world out there. But I had seen like people debating furiously about whether Issa was a good actor or a bad actor, and I didn't really pay any mind because I wasn't planning on watching Black Mirror. So I'm like, I don't have an opinion. And so I watched it, objectively, and I was like, I don't think I like this episode. Number one, sorry, Aquafina always irritates me immediately as I see her. So
Hmm.
I'm just like, this is not a good start for me. And I understand why Issa was acting the way she did, but I just, maybe because I wasn't enjoying the story, um, her acting came across as really stilted, especially since, is it Emma Corrin? I always forget her
Yeah.
name.
Hmm.
I thought she was really good in it. And unfortunately, I think it made Issa look worse, even though I do think it was a purposeful acting choice that she was making. But it just didn't come across that great, especially with Emma Corrin. And also, there was absolutely no chemistry between them. And I think that whole episode would have worked if the chemistry was right, even if I didn't like as many aspects of it.
Yeah.
And that from there, I was just like, they were destined to fail. So I didn't really enjoy it.
Yeah. Again, I struggled with should that be number 5 for me or not, but ultimately no, it wasn't my number 5, but I agree with you on that. I've seen that conversation. Is Issa, was it bad acting? Was it not? Quite frankly, I'm like, why is no one calling the director out? Because
Thank
it
you.
just felt like the notes that we're giving to the crew, the people
Mm-hmm.
who were doing the stuff in the background, the notes that were giving to Emma Corrin and the notes that were giving to Issa were different. I think
Yes.
Issa was following direction as she was told to do. I
Mm-hmm.
completely understand how people think that Issa was playing Issa as she was on Insecure in that role and trying to put some comedy into it. But for them to say it's purposeful, I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know what is
Mm,
or what isn't. All I do know is that it didn't necessarily overall work,
yeah.
and I agree that there was no chemistry, which is like, don't they do chemistry tests and chemistry reads? Like that should be functional. And the minute I saw somebody say this, it was stuck in my head and I can't unsee it now. And they were like, Janelle Monae should have been the person who played this role. And I was like, oh
Ooh.
my God.
Yeah, she would have killed it, unfortunately. Okay, do you know what? So I'm thinking back on it again. In Issa's defense, I do think the part where at the end where she's like, oh, don't go, like holding her in her arms, that you see genuine emotion there, and I thought that was really well done, which is why it made me think all her other acting were conscious choices, because she's just been thrust into the scene because she
Yeah.
didn't read the full package, right, because the USB was lost. um
Yes.
so she was like, what's going on? She wasn't really acting. It was more like a normal person, but yeah.
It was on the fly.
Yes, but yeah, now you've said it, yeah, I'm sorry, I do think Gentleman would have been way better in
Yeah.
that role.
And it begs the question, which I mean, I haven't seen that argument a lot, which is surprising. But there's always that question of should queer roles only go to queer actors?
I will all say no. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because it's acting, is my opinion. I think if you have the option, of course, like say you have two equally talented actors, maybe they're both up for a role and they're like the last two the best people for the job. I do think it is more, socially responsible to give it to the queer actor,
Yeah.
because it's just a way of like balancing the scales, right? Just because of traditional prejudice, and they may not get as many options, but I don't think that should ever be like a barrier from the very beginning. I will
Yeah.
never agree with that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because the counter to that is that on the flip side, we should also, like, it's just acting. So in the
Mhm.
same vein, queer actors should be able to play straight roles. But on the flip
Yes.
side, they are the marginalized. They don't get that
Mhm.
many opportunities. They don't get that many roles. So when there is a role that calls for it, should they have first dibs in it?
Yeah.
That's where the conversation goes. So I think that's what it is. And also just the storyline. Because listen, a lot of art, whether it's books, whether it's movies, whether it's TV, you do have to suspend all
Yeah.
disbelief and just go with it. I couldn't. Like when she was crying and when she was like, no, 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 I was like, she's not real, for fuck's sake. What are we like? You want to give up your whole life? You want to stay here and just be here for eternity because of something that's not real? And also, I just couldn't understand. She was not supposed to feel anything, but she was feeling things. Then she found out she was just an actor. It was just
Hmm.
too much.
And it all ties back to our main like criticism. There was no chemistry. If there was chemistry between them, we would so easily have bought it. Like put it
Yeah.
aside. You know, sometimes you're like, okay, I'll ignore the plot holes because
Yeah.
they're making me believe that they're falling in love. But I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Yes, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my number five was USS Callister into Infinity. I
Interesting.
debated on that being last because my goodness, did it bore me. Like, I even did due diligence. I went back to the old season. It's one of the few episodes that's had like a predecessor. And I went back to go watch it. That bored me to hell. I didn't even finish it. And I was like, whatever I understand, I understand. And then I started this again and I'm like, I just unlike and I think the only reason Plaything edged it out for last place was that I stuck all 90 minutes of USS Callister. It was the longest episode of the season and there was some kind of payoff. Did I
Yeah.
like it? No, but there was some kind of payoff and I kind of followed the story and I knew what was happening. It just bored me, but at least I knew what was happening and I knew um where it ended up.
Okay.
So that's why I had it as number 5. But everybody else, I mean, I like the actors,
Mhm.
Christine Milioti
Jesse
and the like.
Plemons.
Who do you have as number 4?
So I went back and forth between this and three. They could still be interchangeable, but I finally made a decision and I'm sticking to it. So I had Common People.
Sorry, you got.
It cut
I'm
off
so
again.
sorry. Yes, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I'll
But
do it again.
okay,
So I went back and forth about for this and number three because they're kind of equal or they could be interchangeable, but this is a ranking now and I'm sticking to it. So I had Common People.
wow,
Yeah, yeah.
wow! Can't wait to hear this. Okay,
So I actually I really liked it. From here on, I liked all the episodes. So it's just kind of
okay.
the worst of a good bunch, I should say, and it could easily have been number three, just depending on what mood I was in. But yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. It gave me old school Black Mirror vibes. I think the only reason I maybe gave it a little bit lower was a bit more predictable for me. And I don't always think predictability is a bad thing, but sometimes surprised me. But nothing that happened I was particularly surprised by. But I did enjoy it a lot.
So it was number 4 because it was predictable.
That's the only reason between that and three. It could be three, it could be four, but today it's four. But yeah, that was my only reason for making it number four because it's more predictable.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay. I really enjoyed it. There was funny, not funny enough, but there was chemistry. Whatever chemistry needed to be had, they were
Yep.
believable as a couple,
Yes.
and I really enjoyed it. But I will talk about it more when I get to wherever I ranked it. But
Okay.
I'm just very surprised. See by this. Okay, my number 4 was Hotel Reverie.
Okay. I
So
figured.
yeah, that is where I ranked it high when I looked it on there. So it was mid of the list. Well, it's number
Mhm.
4, the mid out of 6. I don't know. Is
Yeah.
3 the mid? Okay, maybe 3 is the mid. Well, we've talked about that, so no need to go in there. So what is your number 3?
My number three was Bet Noir. And that's the one I
Mm,
said, depending on the day, I could have switched it around with Common People. Um,
okay.
the only reason I don't have it high, I was really enjoying it. I
Yeah.
didn't really enjoy the ending.
Okay.
I thought it was a bit dumb. Sorry. Her all
Yeah.
dressed up looking like Beyonce as a master of the universe. I'm just like, we don't have to do that. It could have been a smarter ending. But apart from that, I really enjoyed it. I loved how both protagonists slash antagonists, because they really could be interchangeable depending on how you view it, right?
Yeah.
which is what I enjoyed about it. I don't know, it's way more interesting when it's not just like, a pat solution. This person good, this person bad. So I kind of enjoyed wrestling with the how I felt morally about either main character. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I thought
When
the
you
acting
s-
was good too.
when you say interchangeable, so the only question mark I have about that is there has been speculation like what they were trying to infer was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the new thing of someone being a Karen.
Oh,
But
really?
it's not till the end of the episode that we see the twist that kind of, discounts that, where it
Mm-hmm.
seems like, she was just a blonde-haired, white woman who was saying all these things against, the black woman that was in the
Yes.
office and being gaslit, but we find out that's not the case. So
Yeah.
was that a purposeful choice? I don't know. These are some of the things. Maybe I haven't read the interviews. It would have been interesting. I would like to know if that was
The
done on
intention.
purpose
Okay.
to say like that's what they were trying to connotate, because I liked it because it was driving me nuts. And I remember a long time ago where a friend and I were discussing a book that just was completely so weird, so bizarre, but created all these emotions. And my friend was like, the fact that it could create an emotion like that strongly, to me, qualifies as a good book, whether
I'm
good
with
or
her.
bad.
No, no, I'm with her. Like I've reviewed books where I'm like, this could be 1 star or 5 stars, but all I know is I was like gripped during it. It made me either very angry, and I think that's successful writing, right? There's nothing worse than being indifferent.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what Bête Noire did for me. Was just
Hmm.
I was just mad the whole time. Like she's not crazy. She's not crazy. And just the lady who was sorry I forgot her name, but the blonde lady was just so convincing as
Yep.
a antagonist. Like I was just,
Yes.
the oat milk, the look, the
Hmm.
everything. She was just really good at that. So in
From the
terms of
minute she
least,
walked into the tasting, I was on edge because I'm like,
yeah.
uh-uh.
What is going on?
Yeah.
And then Netflix did that clever thing of the Barneys. Some of us got
Yeah.
Bernies, some of us got Barneys. I'm like, okay, pretty
What did
cool.
you get?
I got burn. Well, for which part? For
Yeah,
the right
Bernie's
one,
or Bunnies.
I got Bernies. No,
Me too.
Barneys was the wrong one
Yes,
that she was
but
trying
I
to
got
convince people.
yes. That's what I got as well. That it
Yeah.
was Bernie's.
The part where you said the whole Beyonce thing, wasn't that a thing they talked about? Because that was the first thing she wanted. It's
Yeah.
like a acolyte or accolade something. It
Yes.
wasn't like necessarily that, but they referred to that. And she was just replicating what the lady did
Yeah, where she made
when she
herself
first had the
master of the
power.
universe. Yeah, she was,
Yeah.
but I didn't like it. Sorry. I'm like, come up with your own idea. You have all the power. Like, we could have done something else. But I do think, like, again, going back, like, I was triggered watching it because there's nothing I think that's worse in this world than being accused of something you didn't do. So I was very much triggered the whole way through. And then I do
Yeah.
think it was so clever because you slowly realize that, like, oh no, she was the main bully. She's the
Yeah.
one who started the rumor, ruined her life. But also, that's not an excuse for murder, bro. Like, you're a big woman, get over it. Yes, you were bullied in secondary school, and I'm sure it was terrible, but get yourself some therapy and move on. Like it's
Yeah.
never that deep. But I do think it's interesting that you could either use that as enough of a reason to support everything she did, because by all means she was really nasty to her. And I like that you see tiny glimpses of that personality still in her. I've forgotten her name, the biracial character, the main character.
Hmm.
Like even in her interactions with her boyfriend and how she reacts when she thinks she's right and other people are wrong. It's just
Yeah.
tiny little glimpses that there's still a little bit of that, mean girl behavior in her. And I
Yeah.
think that's what kept it interesting. But yeah, I was rooting for her though to win in that fight still because I'm just like, get over it. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really good episode.
I thought the ending was a little bit rushed, but then
Hmm.
when I think about it, what else could the situation be? Because I still wanted her to get out of it.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand. I thought the thing only worked for the blonde lady's voice. So I don't know how she immediately got it to work for her, but
No,
maybe I
it's a
misunderstood.
fingerprint. That's why when she was lying on the floor and the
Yeah.
policeman burst in, she like crawled over and pressed her finger onto it. and then she says, you answer to me now or whatever. So it reprogrammed to her.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, that was
Also, that was
faulty.
also very obvious. I immediately thought it was something to do with the necklace right from the beginning, because she
Yeah,
kept
she kept
obviously
touching it.
touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. My number three was eulogy.
Oh.
I was fully prepared to hate eulogy. Don't ask me why. I saw Paul Giamatti and I'm like, okay, here he comes again. He wasn't interested in something. They were going back, forth, back, forth. But as we began to sink in, we began to go forward. I am like, oh my God, this is a masterclass. This is fantastic. This is just the power of point of perspective, how you can go your whole life thinking, oh, I'm this, I'm the wrong. You know how they always say you're the villain in someone's story, and when you're
Yeah.
telling the story you're like, oh no, I did this, I was the best friend, I was this, but you don't know how the other person sees you, just seeing
Hmm.
things that he missed, how his whole life could have been changed. And it was just fantastic storytelling. And as I'm saying this, I'm like, should this have been higher? But no, I really, really, really enjoyed Eulogy and how it unfolded and how it was just a slow build that had a good
Yeah.
payoff. And that was number
Also,
three for
so in the order of the programming, did Eulogy come right after Hotel Reverie, or did I make that up in my mind? I want to say it did.
No, it didn't.
Oh, it
No, it
didn't.
didn't. Because Hotel Reverie was episode 3 and
Okay.
Eulogy is episode 5.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, okay. Why I say that, I will again give more opinions on Eulogy when I reveal where it is on my list. But I was like, this is acting. With Paul Giamatti. I don't know, man. I'm just like, some people are go actors for a reason.
Yeah.
I just thought the level just went up, skyrocketed when he was on screen. I'm like, yeah, this is acting. I really,
Yeah.
really love that episode. So yeah.
And don't get me wrong, guys. When I say I saw Paul Giamatti, I just meant like I thought it would be another Peter Capaldi type thing
Yeah.
where it's like masterclass acting, but it's like, okay, where are we going with this? What is the
Hmm.
story going to be? That's where I was just preparing myself, but it was an absolute pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I'm with
Okay.
you.
What was number 2 for you?
USSS Callister.
Oh my God. I love this so much. Like, I love this. I'm contemplating putting it last, and now I just have this number 2.
Do you know the funny thing? It could have either been number two or number four. Because, like I said, literally apart from Hotel Reverie and Plaything, I really liked all the other episodes. So
Yeah.
even you being fourth is not a bad thing at all. But yeah, I think because my expectations were super low for it, and I was like gripped the whole time. Even though it was the longest
Wow.
episode, I thought it was so interesting, and to me, it just felt like a fun little self-contained movie almost. So I really enjoyed it. And Jesse Plemons is an actor that I really like, even though I find him
Mhm.
so creepy. But I think he's so good at acting, so I just really enjoy seeing him on my screen. And I always forget the name of the guy, the antagonist in this episode. Oh,
I I don't
you know
remember
who I
his
mean,
name
though,
either.
the boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always enjoy him in everything I've seen him in. Yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was cute because it gave me like watching, I don't know, Star Trek movie or whatever. I just thought it was interesting. Like, it kept me engaged, honestly.
Obviously.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I enjoy it so much. I love when people have different tastes. We can't all
Hmm.
like the same thing. We can't all be in the same level in different things. I really, again, like I said earlier, wanted to root for this because I'm in a Christine Milotti kick because of the Penguin,
Yes.
and I'm just like here for her with her big eyes,
Yep. Love her.
lovely eyes, and just going on. And like you said, Jesse Plemons, low key, low key. I think people are
Hmm.
going to realize much later that he's in a class of his own. Like he's
Thank
in every
you.
good thing.
One of the
Once
best
there's like
actors
a
of our generation, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet, but I feel like when he's
No,
in
what's
something,
next?
he's usually in things that are good.
Yes.
So they may be boring, but
Yeah.
he's in things that are good.
If
So,
you guys have never seen Game Night, that's one of my favorite roles that he's in. You guys should
oh, I've
watch
never
Game
seen
Night.
that.
Oh, I actually think you'd like it.
The one with Jason Sudeikis?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like comedic, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I know what
yeah.
it's about. I
I
just
think
never
you'll
saw it.
enjoy it. You should watch it. He's good in it.
I
Very
I
good.
would never forget when a coworker they were talking about things and how I try to keep on track with like sitcoms and things, or even though Friends is one of my favorite shows, and he's like, "Oh no, you can't include Tane. She doesn't like to laugh," and I took that
Ah,
to the heart. Because comedies and stuff, I don't know why I don't gravitate to it. Like the comedies I like are like I'm watching Hacks right now. Give me
hmm
Hacks, a thing that's not like ha ha laugh out loud.
yeah,
Those are the kinds of like I thought 30 Rock was great, but some people would think that's also slapstick. I don't know, maybe my taste is all around, but
yeah.
I was
And
so
I
offended.
do find comedy very personal, like really and truly, because some things I find hilarious, someone else may not. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. All right. What number are we on? Number two?
yes, for
Number
you.
2 for me, I mean, I guess we can all figure this out, but number 2 right now was Bête Noire. Is it Bet or Bete or Bet?
It's
There's a
bet,
thing on top. It's Bet?
bet,
Okay.
yeah, bet
Bête
noir.
Noire was number 2 for me. Like we discussed, it just had all of the things, all the reveal at the end, and I really enjoyed it.
Yes, I just thought the acting was fantastic. It's just, yeah, I just love it. It was really, really good. Oh,
Okay. And now, drum roll, please.
was
Even though we all
obvious
know what
now.
it is. What is number one for you?
Was Eulogy, and I would
Yeah.
never have guessed ever, ever, ever. Like when it started again, like you said, that's why I didn't push back when you're like, "Oh, it's Paul Giamatti. What we gonna get?" Because that's how I felt. I did like a mini
Yeah.
eye roll, like, "Oh, they're gonna put an amazing actor in some nonsense." So,
Yeah.
but I was really shocked by how quickly I was sucked in. And it gave me the vibe of like a one man theatre show. One of
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
best
Mhm.
ones, and I'm like, this is why I was so impressed with his acting. Just commanding presence. He really had me like sucked in. Like, bro, it was your ego that broke this whole thing up. You cheated, she cheated. And then you lived with your anger for 15 years. Look at all the what ifs. The way his face like crumpled into itself. And when
Yeah.
he found the note, and I was just
The
like,
letter.
ah,
Yeah.
bravo. I was like on my feet. I loved it. Every bit
Yeah.
about it. It was perfection. Yeah.
It was. It was. It's a very good number one, and good on Paul Giamatti, and he has
Mhm.
won an Oscar, I believe, for Sideways. So
Oh,
he is.
he was nominated for the holdovers as well, right?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
Wait,
that
did
was
he
a
win
really
for that?
yeah. Why do I feel like he won? I love that movie. That was one of my favorite
Joy
movies of last year.
Divine won.
Yeah, she
Well,
won. I know for sure he was nominated, but I can't remember whether he won. It was
okay,
last year,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Paul Giamatti.
Time is a construct, but yes, I
Oh
think it
no.
was last year. But that's the thing. I'm now. I know Thomas Hayden Church won for sure for best supporting actor for Sideways, but
hmm
I don't know if he won for that. But I will do a quick check on that. I don't think he did.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
think he did.
Devine for sure won. I don't think he won. Was
Okay,
he
he
even
didn't
nominated?
win.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, that was the American Fiction year, and Anatomy of a Fall year. Oh, so much better than last year's Oscars. Sorry, let me behave. I'm still angry.
Yeah, I don't think he won for holdovers. Actually,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, disappointing because he was fantastic. But anyway,
yeah, he was.
podcast great.
He was. Well, I mean, obviously, my number one. I feel so basic because that's almost everyone's favorite, Common People. But I can't deny it is what it is, and that's what really held me. I think I like Common People. Everyone says it's because it's close to reality. That's not why I would like something. I don't want anything close to my reality right now. It's just the way, like I said earlier, there was chemistry between the
Mm-hmm.
actors. I truly, fully believed that these were regular people working regular jobs, and
Yeah.
everyone is thinking so hard, like, why didn't they get better jobs? Why didn't they do that? Because that's the whole point. The whole point is like, because someone was like, oh, he works in construction, they make good money. And I'm like, yeah, the whole point is like, we're going to get to a point where what is good money?
Thank you.
No one's going to be able to survive on anything
Mm-hmm.
because this is all what it is. And everyone was comparing the healthcare to streaming service. I'm like, we don't need to go to streaming services, it's
Thank
actual
you.
medical
Sorry, even
care.
small things like yesterday I placed an Instacart order that was legit just a repeat of an order done 3 months prior. and it was $25 more expensive. And this
Yeah.
time I even had a $10 off coupon. This is what we're dealing with, bro. Like, sorry to say, why is
Yeah.
my milk $2 more expensive in this place for 3 months? Like, and everyone, you're so right. Soon your money just won't be enough. It
Yeah.
won't.
You're just
Yeah.
supposed to figure it out because everyone's like, "Oh, it's just $300. Why is he working so much overtime?"
Just.
I'm like, have you
Huh.
seen people need to show and make a certain amount just to rent an apartment, and it's
Yep.
becoming unbelievable. People are gonna start getting married just for that double income. I swear
Yep.
to God, and to survive
But you know
because.
everyone's rich on social media. Be for real. Come on. Hmm.
So yeah, so I did like that for common people. I like that it just felt really natural. I thought it was a good bridge of what um Black Mirror used to be. Like
Yes.
I'm not, even though I say like it changed when it got with Netflix, I'm not one of those people like change is not always bad. Like it is what it is, and if things change, let's just adapt to the change. But if it
Mm-hmm.
is bad, we'll call it out. If it's bad, if it's good, it is. But this was a good merge, and this was one of the episodes where I think what they also tried to do was they mixed in every now and then you'd have like a British actor
Yes.
in there, and this was just, I mean, it was just
I love
great.
him. I always forget his name. Oh gosh.
Chris
But
O'Dowd,
thank you. But he
which
is great.
I have a funny story. Like I went once, I was in New York. I went for some screening many years ago, and I walked out and he walked out the hotel. And I do this funny thing sometimes when I see celebs where I act like I know them. And I was like, "Oh, hey Chris, how are you?" And he's looking at me like, um do I know you? And I'm like, what are you in town for? And he's like, oh, I'm here to do, I think, did he say Fallon or something? One of the late night. I was like, oh, he had like this TV show like no one's probably heard of, but I did just read it. I have a People Magazine subscription. I had just read about it. I was like, oh, yeah, that show. That's good. He was like, oh, you heard about it? And I was like, oh, yeah. He's still so confused. And I'm just going, this is outside on the street in front of a hotel. And I'm just like, so do you mind? Can I get a picture with you? And then I have a picture there, and it's a picture of me and Chris O'Dowd somewhere
Oh,
in my phone. And I was like, okay, well, have a good night. And that was
he's so
because
talented to me. I love that.
he
Some
is.
actors just embody that everyman quality so well, and
I
he's one
mean,
of them
he
for me.
has no choice but to
Yeah, true.
embody every
True.
man. I mean, what else is he going to do?
Wow, look at this. Look at this. What was the show he did with is it Sharon Horgan? Why's my it's gone out of my head.
Is
No,
that
I'm
the one
mixing
with
them
Sharon
up
Hogan?
with
No, that's not the one.
yeah, I know what you mean. I'm mixing it up. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll get back to it.
That's funny. The one you're thinking about, I'm actually watching him on Dying for Sex or something with Michelle Williams
Oh
right
yeah, I
now.
need
But
to
yeah,
get into that. But yeah. Mhm.
sidebar. Okay, so yeah, so that was my number one because it was just very natural. It was very everyday. The end was a little confusing to me because it looked like he was going to off himself, but I'm like, why would he do that when he's not getting the money?
I think he is going to off himself.
But he's not gonna get money. Like it will give him a lot of money, but
He's going to off himself because the love of his life is dead. And he
yeah,
can't
but
have
why
the
is he
one thing he wants now, which is also a child. He's
understood? But
uh-huh.
why is he doing it on screen on the Dumb for Dummies
Oh, you
live
think that's
stream?
why he went in there?
Yeah, that's where his camera and everything was. So that's my only thing. He could have done
Oh,
it anywhere in the house, but he went in there, good the box cutter or whatever, and went into the live stream. And I'm like, what's the point
oh,
of doing that when you're not gonna get the money unless it's gonna pay a bill or something? But no one's gonna be
damn! Now you have me thinking. Yeah, maybe
about that. That was
he's
so strange.
sending it to his dad. I don't know. Oh, that's gonna really annoy me now.
Well, that was the other thing. Like, no
Ah,
family members could help, but again, suspend all disbelief. But
yeah, I
you know,
know.
they
But
could have
yeah,
moved
I'm with
in.
you. Even in the beginning, I was like, "Your wife is Rashida Jones, BFFR." But surprisingly, it worked. I think she managed to play like regular person kind of well, even though
No,
she
she
looks
does
like
sound.
Rashida Jones.
But
Yeah.
I think that Rashida Jones is one of those people, honestly, that would have chemistry with whoever she's with.
Yes. Yes.
So I
And it's
think it's
believable
easy.
to me that they were married because
Yeah.
we see couples like that, like she did
Hmm.
it well. Like, obviously, she's still a very beautiful woman, but I don't know, it worked for me. And at first, I was
Yeah.
just like, be for real, but immediately they won me over. And I just love that you could see that their marriage was happy,
Yeah.
despite all the typical marriage up and downs before everything else. And I found myself getting so irritated with her because I'm like, this man is literally working himself into a grave to provide for you. But then I realized like she was being forced to sleep longer, so it wasn't her fault
Yeah.
either. And what I loved the most about the episode, I think I like that it still retained that typical Black Mirror humor in aspects. So the ads, like sometimes when they played was funny. The scene with Tracy Ellis Ross, like ranching up her nonchalance, made me laugh. And I'm like, yeah, this is a really good balance. I loved it.
Yes. Yes, it was. It was. I saw an article that said don't start with common people, and I'm like, you guys and
Yeah,
your
I hate it when they
rules.
do that.
Is
Yeah,
everyone just trying to be different? Like, who cares? And it's the same thing with people who say, I've never watched Black Mirror before. Should I not start with the first episode, which was the one with the pig?
yeah.
And I'm like, why the hell wouldn't they start with that?
Thank
Like,
you.
what are we like? You should start with that.
You know how people try to give people like alternative orders to watch Marvel movies in? No, you should watch. I'm like, just watch it as it came out. Figure it
Yeah.
out like the rest of us did in real time. It's not
Yep.
that deep, you know.
Yep.
Just put
No
it on press
rules.
play.
I am with you.
Yeah, but
Well,
yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. And again, it could easily have been like number two as well for me, just depending on the day. Because I really liked the my top four. Pretty much,
I
like, yeah, there's not a huge gap between them for me.
yeah. Okay. Well, this was fun. I
It
love counting down.
was. Me too. I'm like, I really enjoyed this. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Well, thank you for doing this for me. And guys, as always, I love to hear from you guys. Let me know if you have watched Black Mirror season 7 and let me know what your rankings are. And till the next episode, you know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, on Twitter, on Threads, and on Blue Sky at AltaCall MAFS. That's AltaCallMAFS. Please give me a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And if you'd like to support the show and get some bonus episodes from much more other shows like 90 Day, Sister Wives, you can join my Patreon at patreon.com/AltaCallMAFS. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.